Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to learn about biological macromolecules. For our learning objective, at the end of the lesson, you should be able to distinguish between carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids, and summarize the general characteristics of each biomolecule. Let's talk about carbohydrates. The molecular formula for glucose is C6H12NO6, and its empirical or simplest formula is CH2O, which indicates there are two hydrogen atoms for each carbon and oxygen atom in a molecule. Now, the word carbohydrate may be broken down to carbon and hydrate. Another term for carbohydrate is saccharide. This term is derived from the Latin word saccharum, referring to sugar, a common carbohydrate. The primary energy source of the human body is carbohydrates. Now, there are classifications of carbohydrates. First, monosaccharide or one saccharide. Examples are glucose, used in dextrose, blood sugar, the form utilized by the human body. Next is galactose, found in milk and milk products. And the last one is fructose, found in fruits and honey. Second is disaccharide, or two saccharides. Examples are maltose, found in malt, sucrose, found in regular table sugar, sugarcane, and sugar beet. And last one is lactose, which is found in milk and milk products. And the third classification is polysaccharide or many saccharides. Examples are starch, a storage form of glucose in plants, glycogen, a storage form of glucose in animals, stored in the liver and muscles, and cellulose, structural material in plants. Okay, now let's move on to protein. Came from the Greek term proteus, meaning first, composed of four elements, namely carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Sulfur and other metals are sometimes also found in proteins. Now, examples of proteins and their structure and functions are: first is keratin. It is a structural protein found in hair, skin, and nails. Another example is fibrin or silk protein. Fibrin is found in silk. Silk has a smooth and soft texture. Then we also have collagen. It is a major insoluble fibrous protein found in connective tissues such as tendons, ligaments, skin, cartilage, and the cornea of the eye. Now let's talk about lipids. It provides more energy per gram than carbohydrates and proteins. Serve other functions such as material for cell membrane, insulation to maintain body temperature, and aid in digestion and signal molecules. Now, there are examples of lipids. We have the first one is this triglyceride. It has three chains connected to a backbone. It has a long chain mainly composed of carbon and hydrogen. and it is composed of three elements such as carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Now, fat refers to solid triglyceride usually from animal sources such as meat, milk, butter, margarine, eggs, and cheese, while oil refers to liquid triglycerides from plant sources. Examples are olive oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, and soybean oil. Animal fat contains high percentage of saturated fatty acids, while plant oil are mostly unsaturated fatty acids. Alright, let's discuss about fatty acids. These are long-chain carboxylic acids that are insoluble in water. Fatty acids can be saturated or unsaturated. Saturated fatty acids with hydrogen, all the carbon molecules have two hydrogen atoms attached to it. While now, unsaturated fatty acids, carbons with a double bond only have one hydrogen atom attached to it. Okay, now let's talk about phospholipids. It contains glycerol, two fatty acids, and a phosphate group. Unlike other lipids, phospholipids have a polar and nonpolar end. Okay, for our discussion about nucleic acid, you are going to read this one about the nucleic acid, and after reading, you are going to answer the following guide questions. Okay, questions 1 to 10. All right. Okay, that's the first part of the activity. All right, for the second part of activity 1, you are going to summarize your understanding about biological macromolecules by filling out the table. So in the first column, as you can see, the description. All right. Then the second column, carbohydrates, followed by proteins, lipids, and nucleic acid. Okay, for activity number 2. All right, for activity number 2, you are going to create a mind map of the things you remember about carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acid. And you're going to use an Oslo paper for your mind map. All right. So that's all for today. Thank you very much and see you next time.